we get a rootstock on it and start a whole nother vine. So that's all part of being a sustainable farm.
So they don't eat when the sheep go through, they don't eat the...
Well, they're dormant. They're dormant. They're still dormant, but they're just starting to come out. But it's really funny that you bring that up. Now, when just before, like in June, we're starting to get the buds. Okay, we get the clusters. And what we used to do with humans is put them in the field, and they would pull all the leaves off to get the clusters sun. We now bring the sheep in, and they do it all for us, because if they're bitter, they won't touch them. So they're still bitter, and they'll come through and they wipe out all the leaves right around all those things. They'll climb on top of each other. They get the top vines. And we are close to the San Andreas Fault here. I grew up right on the San Andreas Fault, Point Reyes Station. It runs right through the middle of town. My dad was 4 years old when the '06 earthquake hit. He threw him all the way across the house. I mean, across his room in the bedroom. He said it was such a violent move. It was so violent, it shifted all the plates under the ground and closed off all the hot water. But anyway, they would sit there, and that's how they would take their bath. In here, and they put this stone.
What temperature is this water here now?
Huh?
What temperature is this water here?
Well, it's cold.
Is it still natural springs this cold?
It's natural springs that still bring it up. The bricks are all handmade by the Indians. They're all made of adobe clay, which is our soil. So why don't you come in and just kind of get an idea what it's like to live in an adobe. And I'll put on some lights for you. Just kind of walk around in a circle. And then we have to hand empty these pumps to anything. So we start at this time of year. The last pond will be emptied now. It's being emptied now. And then we fill it back up and if you guys try some of our late harvest from the Vedra today, be very careful. Because every time Nancy had a bottle of that, she got pregnant. Okay, it's lethal stuff, okay? Yeah. Also, if you look over here to the left, this beautiful picket fence here, that fence is actually our oak staves. Okay? You can see the little round circles. We string those staves around the center of the stainless steel tanks, so all of the wine gets its oak flavor from oak staves, not from oak barrels. She went down with Chuck, wrote a substantial check, bought all of these, had them all redone, so you're going to see the originals from 1939. It all started in the town square of Sonoma. That's how we became a state, basically. The guy who runs our Gooseberry farm, Bob Howard's father, got it from the general increase of SI somehow. And then they had a retrofit up in the town. Yeah, they had like 3 of them. These are all artifacts from the Miwaks. That is the grapes that are growing right in front of us. That is Syrah here. So we have 16 varieties of grapes growing on here. 16 different varieties. Presses all that sediment that gets another 200 cases of wine. And to make the alcohol content. White wines just goes through that kind of fermentation process, okay? Yeast fermentation. The red wines go through 2. The yeast and malolactic fermentation, which is like a bacteria. That is actually it's a wine, but it's bacterial wine that we put in there. And if you notice, our reds are so nice and smooth. They don't have all that big tannin, bitterness and stuff that gets in the back of your throat and stuff. And that's just what it is. Most wineries are doing that now. Like I said, what's another good thing about it is there's nothing but natural product in here. Nothing. They're vegan wines, which is great. What I'd like to have you do, look at that. So this is still going through fermentation. Okay, you're going to get a little bubble with this. Might be even a little tangy. Okay, just climb up.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do, this is our Pinot Gris, which is also, if you go across the street, it's Pinot Grigio, right? All right. And go back into the tasting room and get a fresh glass, or I'll bring you over there, and then we're going to try this wine in its finished product. I wish I knew how to go cut for you.
I wish you did too. Then just push your mouth and just go. That's sanitary, right? Sure.
Won't be the first time.
I accept the challenge.
It's endorsed.
You get it? That good? Now is that bitter?
Yes.
Is it okay?
not
So,
too
it's only
good.
to the first level.
It's not-
So what I want you to do, look at the clarity.
very yeasty.
So it hasn't been. It's got. That's right. The yeast is changing that sugar, and we've had that juice just sitting in refrigeration and not doing anything with it. So now the fermentation process has started. Now what's neat about it is when Charlie finally this becomes a wine, we put a big hose right here, and we have our filters right here. We take the hose and hook it right up to a pipe right over here. We have a map on the wall of every single tank. We also have a calendar when I'm looking for wine. Like the Syrah that I poured you today, today the 2012 Syrah. I told them, I said, this is going to be a beautiful bottle of wine in about 4 or 5 months because it's really nice. But even they said, yeah, well, I can see how this, when you lay those down a little while, it's good. There's belts that go around them that are refrigeration belts.
What's the label, the white label on there with the S and the date?
Well, okay, well, let me show you one that maybe has, okay, they just took this out of here, I can tell you. It looks like Syrah that was Oakley White, 2013. The very first one on the top, okay, is the Oakley White. This is the Sauvignon Blanc blend. Right. Isn't that beautiful? Well, this is weird. You can see how different it looks. So we have the pickup parties where our members come in and get their wine at nice discounts and stuff like that. And we just had one here in November, which was supposed to be the holiday in Carneros, which was canceled by the county after 12 years of the same thing. They told the people who were the organizers of it that didn't have the right permits a week before the whole event. So we turned it into a club party, and we invited all of our club members to come. You can see the refrigeration belts on the stainless steel here. That's what those look like outside as well. But they don't have the, we don't have the fiberglass on the outside because we don't need it inside here. And you can see we can control the temperature of all of these when they have wine in them. What's left over is the diatomaceous earth and a red color from the grape, and it comes off like rubber. He just come on board about 3 months ago, and we had this party, and he said, hey, man, come play with me guys. I said, come on. He came in, he did Elvis Presley. They even played for our Christmas party at Jacuzzi. We have a company party over at the girl in there. I don't think they've ever figured it out. Is it the chicken or the egg? But anyway, these are for small batches of wine for testing. But the actual design dates back to the Roman Empire.